Today I have a side-by-side here. Specifically, this is the Can-Am Maverick X3 RS side-by-side. It's the two-door. It's the 72-inch wide version. This is actually a 2017. They pretty much are unchanged all the way up until they came out with the Maverick R, which is a whole different machine, but it uses a BRP motor in that, turbocharged 3-cylinder. This one was making, I think it was about 170 horsepower from the factory. It did kind of tune that up. I'll go over that a little bit later, but just going to kind of dive into how this came stock, what has been modified on it, in my opinion, what was worth changing and what was actually not a good investment on it, what things are absolutely needed for out there on the trails. This one also is street legal. I did that through a kind of legal loophole with Montana. I can get into that in the comments if you want, but without further ado, we're going to kind of grab you, take you around the Can-Am and give you a tour of what have changed on it, what I think is cool, and then we're going to take it out and take it for a spin. So we'll start doing a little walk, just a walk around of the machine. It's really pretty sweet looking rig. It just catches everybody's eye out there. It's one of the better looking machines in my opinion. It's a lot more aggressive than some of the other side-by-sides out there. But anyway, this one's got some miles on it. When we get closer, you can actually see it's got a ton of rash and stuff from the trails on it. But let's see what we got. We added some lights up front. We added a winch here with the synthetic rope that is an absolute must. You need to have a winch on one of these, or you basically should never be riding without another person or somebody who does have a winch, because you're out there off-roading, you're going to get stuck. It came with 30-inch tires from the factory. These are 32s. You can go bigger than that, but at a certain point you start getting heavy, and then it kind of loses some of its playful character where it can really just bounce off of anything. Moving along, we've got rock sliders on the side. They're I don't know, not necessary, but I put them on there just for the extra protection. Really not needed. Above that is the lower doors. Surprisingly, these Can-Ams actually do not come with a lower door. That was super easy to bolt on. Threw that on there, and that stops a lot of mud from coming on the inside. Jumping back, speaking of mud, these are by Mud Busters. They are huge fender flares. This part here is actually from Can-Am. That is that's their mud protection and fender flare, and that is only on certain ones of these. But then this Mud Busters one is absolutely enormous. And it is probably my favorite thing that I've done to this as far as a modification. That is night and day. I ride in a lot of mud, and it keeps it clean in here. Same thing moving around the back. They're on the back here too. The backs aren't as big of a deal, but it does keep the back of the machine clean. Speaking of staying clean, windshield, absolutely needed. Don't ride without a windshield. You're just going to get covered in mud and bugs and dirt in your eyes, and then you're going to have to wear goggles and all sorts of nonsense, which just not for me. I like the windshield. This one has vents in it that you can open and close. It's actual glass. Do not get plexiglass or anything like that. You'll scratch it up. You'll get it dirty. You'll try and clean it, and then it's just a waste of time. Go straight to the glass for sure. What else we got on here? Aftermarket sway bar end links, not because the factory ones are not strong enough or anything, in the sense of that they did the job just fine. They broke. They just plain wore out really quick. So you're gonna want, so I needed to replace those. If yours aren't broke, don't replace them, but expect them to break. The factory ones are wimpy. Got Rhino 2.0 axles on this, same thing. Upgraded axles might save you some time from actually ending up like broken down on the trail, because that is why these are on here, because they broke. So again, one of those things where they got upgraded because the factory ones broke. Yeah, big storage box. This is from Rough Country. I normally don't like Rough Country. They're kind of cheap in their bottom end. Kind of, not usually the fancy stuff, but this just fits so well. And it's absolutely huge compared to any other storage option here. So I just have some kit back here. I got an extra belt because this has a CVT. The belts on those are known to go. I've absolutely beat the crap out of this thing, and I haven't gone through a belt, but I have everything that I need in there to replace it if I did. So that's it. That's in there. I have a rear view camera. It's actually just Wi-Fi, so that will connect to an iPad if I put it in there. It's a pain in the butt to set up, but it is nice to have a rear view camera mounted to the that connects to the iPad. I'd also just wired in a little light back here that was needed because I have tags. So that makes it street legal. That was one of the requirements. If you don't have a light on the tag, they'll pull you over real quick for that. Moving around to the other side, well, it's symmetrical, so there's not going to be nothing new over on this side. So I'll just kind of loop back around to kind of get on the inside here. They got suicide doors, I think is cool. These little bags are aftermarket too, but the padding is beautiful for the knee. That is a must. 4-point harnesses actually. Yeah, love the harnesses. Makes you feel safe in there. If you're really riding, like this particular machine has been rolled, so the machine can handle it, but a seat belt is not going to keep you in one place if this thing rolls, and it's not crazy to think that they will. This little bump up here is aftermarket, pretty cheap, but it gives you more storage. And then also this is, for an iPad to mount on there. And here we got rear view mirror. This is just where I wired in some of the lights. That is the top light bar. That thing's massive. That's just my little pod lights that were in the front. I did those first. They weren't enough. That's why I put the enormous light bar on the top. It's a cheapie from Amazon, but it does the trick. Got all sorts of cool off-road stuff in here. We have a real four-wheel drive, locks into four-wheel drive, and then you have a high and low gear. Sport mode's always on. This is a really cool thing that I added here, is the exhaust. So I'm not a fan of loud exhausts, but on an off-road machine that's not daily driver, I wanted to hear it. I thought it was cool. So, but I wasn't sure. So I got an exhaust that has an exhaust cutout, and this electronically can open and close it. So when we hit this button, it opens it. You can actually hear it. And I'll go ahead and show you what that actually does. We'll listen to it a little bit later once we get to actually driving. I forgot to show you guys this part. This is the exhaust. It's by RPM Motorsports, and this is the pipe that goes from the turbo back to the factory muffler. Now, it also has a flex pipe in there and your O2 sensor. But this is where that valve is. So basically it's a dump pipe. And when you hit that valve open, it comes straight off the turbo and just dumps. It's loud as hell. You can hear the turbo. Sounds kind of cool. But then again, this is just a wee little 3-liter running on, connected to a CVT. So it's kind of hums along. Not what you want to be listening to all day long. After that though, I have it actually plugged into the factory muffler. That way, when I choose to run it quiet, it's as quiet as it possibly can be. Love having the option. And because I have the option, I have learned that I never drive it actually with the exhaust dump open. I like it, the quieter, the better. It's already loud enough in there. Speaking of it being loud, there's one thing you can do. You can close off this air induction spot. And then on the back here, you can open it up back here. It actually makes it so that a whole lot less noise comes into the cabin. That's nice to do. And then last, but actually probably most, is going to be the tune that I did on this. So this was the 2017 version. Everything in all the mechanics all the hardware, all the parts are the same as the 2018, 2019, but they tuned it with more power. I think they bumped it from like 170, I think it was like 154, and then they bumped it to like 180 or something like that. I'm a little, forgive my numbers. We can chat about them in the comments if you want. But anyway, it was really underpowered. Now, the difference in the 2018 was a bigger fuel pump. So I did actually replace the fuel pump with the 2018 version. And then I got a tuner from Code Shooter. This is a really cool, easy setup. Plug it in, it's plug and play, has a really good app for that. And then you can simply tune it up to 210. So I'm running the 210 tune. That means you do need to run 93 octane on it. It's turbocharged, basically. It just ups the boost. You do have to get in there and also adjust the wastegate. Really easy to do, but you just adjust the wastegate. I did put a aftermarket blow-off valve on it as well because the old school tuner in me just cannot help but love the sound of a blow-off valve. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and take this thing for a spin.